in the Northeast is creating quite a scene on the Hudson River. Check out these chunks of ice floating with the current in New York City. It's actually a pretty view right there. The unseasonable warmth ahead of Winter Storm Hunter could create more scenes like this, but another freeze is on the way, and unfortunately we are seeing the threats for flooding and ice damming along with this warming. So as of right now, as we get into Sunday, big changes to come. We're talking about over 190 million people with highs below average, and that's indicated by this blue spot across the eastern seaboard. Now that's going to kick up as we get through the next couple of days, but for now, not too bad. We're seeing the temperatures in the 50s and 60s, dare I say. 61 in Pittsburgh right now, 53 in Binghamton, 59 in D.C. Actually just changed. We got the latest ob. 62 degrees in D.C. right now and 51 for New York. But again, like I said, things will be changing. Today, not so bad. Tomorrow, you'll start seeing those purple colors start to infringe and start infiltrating the area. There you go. Now we're seeing lots of purples and blues popping up on the map. Those are temperatures in the 40s and 50s. It really starts getting cold by Saturday. Now we're talking about temperatures in the teens. 12 in Buffalo, 16 in Binghamton by Sunday. Now we're talking single digits. 6 in Burlington, 8 in Binghamton, 17 in Pittsburgh. But one holdout spot is D.C., just shy of freezing, 31 degrees just below, and 27 in New York and 24 in Boston. So cold is on the way as we end out the weekend. Enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy today and tomorrow. This is our little gift to you as meteorologists. As we get into D.C., 66 degrees for tomorrow with that threat for rain, but then we drop back into the 40s starting on Saturday. 30s continue as we get into the late this weekend, and it even flirts near below freezing, 31 degrees on Sunday and once again on Wednesday. But let's go ahead and send it out into the lab for our winter weather update with Carl and Mark.
Thank you, Liana. Yes, some big changes with those temperatures dropping, and that has huge implications for the type of winter weather you're going to see. Carl Parker here, storm specialist. And Carl, we're talking about a fairly wide zone of freezing rain, which is just the worst kind of winter weather by far.
Yes, and we're seeing that right now. And this is kind of a neat model representation of what's happening right now. So you've got the below freezing temperatures in the very lowest levels of the atmosphere. So the lowest, like 2,000 to 3,000 feet of the atmosphere, is where you have these sub-freezing temperatures marching right along, coming through the Quad Cities, getting towards Hannibal right now. And in the arrows, we've got above freezing temperatures at 5,000 feet. So clearly, you can see an area where those above freezing temperatures are overriding the very cold air at the surface.
Sorry, you got to think in 3D here. The purple colors are where we're standing. Right. The arrows a couple thousand feet above our head.
Yes, exactly. About a mile up is where the arrows are. So right where that is happening, and this fits perfectly with what we're seeing on the radar picture, the rain gets into that area where you've got the sub-freezing air, and kapow, it's still warm aloft, and you get freezing rain. So that's happening now, and we expect to see a lot more of that tonight. And in fact, because as you mentioned, it's going to be a broad area where we could see even some convective elements coming in. I think we're going to be looking at 1/4 of an inch of accumulation there.
And pretty far south, Memphis.
Yes.
It was so warm, now freezing rain, then snow to end it, and then it continues north from there.
Exactly. We get that mix coming up into the interior northeast, and then up into New England on Saturday, preceded by rain and possibly some flash flooding, and then some snow, and it's all going to move out pretty quickly on Saturday. So a lot of wintry weather on the way, and we also wanted to talk a little about the longer-term pattern. Another big blast of cold coming down behind this storm. Another one comes in behind that. Some of the indications here are that we could be looking at another storm in the northeast, right there, towards Wednesday.
You get that setup with warm air out ahead in the waters of the Atlantic.
Yep.
A front there, maybe an area of low pressure forming along that boundary.
Exactly. That's going to be something to watch. We've seen that over a couple of model runs. And then in the longer term, we see a lot more weather coming into the west and more of a Pacific flow across the country. And so towards the end of the month, it should generally be milder for a lot of the nation.
Which is a big change.
Yeah.
Carl, thanks so much. Liana, over to you.
All right, thanks, guys. And our special coverage on Winter Storm Hunter is back at the top of the hour. We're tracking the dangerous mess of snow, ice, and rain over the coming hours and days.